Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel, Discover with Kim. I'm Kim, I'm so excited you're here with me today. Welcome to this week's book vlog, and welcome to one of the last summer reading challenge vlogs. This week is going to be part 2 of my reading wrapped mystery books from 9 different categories. So last Tuesday, I posted part 1 where I read a wrapped mystery book that was a fantasy book. I read a wrapped romance book, and I opened my wrapped short book. Now this week we're going to keep it going. We're going to be reading that short book, and we are going to be opening more wrapped mystery books and getting into them. So let's start reading some books and let's chat some books. Let's get into it. Alright, so as I mentioned at the end of last week's part 1 vlog, I opened my short book, which was a book that was under 250 pages. I opened that at the end of last week's vlog, and that was If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Kawamura. So I unwrapped this one last week and read the little blurb on the back, so I'm going to put just a little bit of footage from that right here so you can know what this book is all about. So again, this is a short novel, so it's less than, I think, 250 pages, and it's just a smaller book that I just categorized as a short book for this challenge. So let's open it up and let's see what this short book is that I'm going to be reading this week. If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Kawamura. I'm so excited for this. Let me read you the little blurb on the back. The young postman's days are numbered. Estranged from his family and living alone with only his cat, Cabbage, cute name, to keep him company, he was unprepared for the doctor's diagnosis that he has only months to live. Tragic. But before he can tackle his bucket list, the devil shows up with an offer. Interesting. In exchange for making one thing in the world disappear, the postman will be granted 1 extra day of life, and so begins a very strange week that brings the young postman and his beloved cat to the brink of existence. With each object that disappears, the postman reflects on the life he lived, his joys and regrets, and the people he's loved and lost. Genki Kawamura's timeless tale is a moving story of loss, reconciliation, and one of man's journey to discover what really matters most in life. That sounds absolutely wonderful. So we will be starting this week off with If Cats Disappeared from the World. And yeah, it sounded so cute, so I was so excited to dig into this short book. So I have already dug a good chunk into it, as you saw. Some footage of me starting it last night, and then I read a little bit of it today so far. So this book is 168 pages long, which is why for me it's classified as a short book, and I'm currently on page 96. So I'm more than halfway done already. It is a very quick book, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It's an interesting read, like it's written in an interesting way. It's definitely a more of like a contemporary book. It's definitely interesting, and there's a lot of like life lessons, life philosophies in it, which with the blurb saying how like he only has so long left to live, of course there's gonna be like life philosophies and stuff in it, but there's definitely like a lot of life philosophies and some lessons in it, and it's definitely interesting, and I'm curious to see where it's gonna go. I'm not like obsessed, checky. I'm not like overly obsessed with it, but I'm definitely curious to know what's going to happen in it and where it's going to go, and what like the overarching theme and lesson is going to be from it, because I'm sure there's going to be one, because that just seems like the kind of book that it is. But so far it's really fun, and I think it's really an interesting read, and it's going pretty fast. Like the chapters, they're each a day of the week, but the chapters are pretty long so far. Like some of them are like 30 pages pretty much so far, which I'm not a huge fan of a long chapter, because like that's quite the commitment. So the chapters are long, but like they're interesting, and I'm curious to see what happens. I would also say, you want up, Jackie? Oh, Bubba, you're okay. Go on. I would also say that like there seems to be like some repetition as a theme in this, so I'm curious if that's just how it's written or if that's going to be something that's like part of it at the end. So I'm curious to see how that ends up. But I'm really liking If Cats Disappeared from the World so far, my short book, and obviously I do not want cats to disappear from this world because I am a cat mama, as you can see by my football right here. So yeah, we do not want cats disappearing from this world. But the book so far is really interesting, really, like I said, it's like philosophical, and I'm curious to see where it goes. Okay, now I am in the middle of my short book, but I also want to pick out a book from another category already because one, I think I'm going to finish this tonight, and two, like, if I'm not in the mood to read this, I want to have something else to read. So I'm thinking we're going to go, well, let me tell you what I have left. So there's 9 categories overall, and the ones that I have not done yet are Tackle a Series, Miscellaneous Book, Mystery Thriller, Historical Fiction, Nonfiction, and Finish a Series. So I'm thinking Finish a Series and Tackle a Series are going to be, maybe I do want to just finish a series. Now, I think those are going to be like one of like the last ones I do, because well, Tackle Series definitely is going to be the last one I do. But Finish a Series, I'm not feeling that right now. Might not be one of the last ones, but I'm not feeling that right now. So that leaves nonfiction, but with If Cats Disappeared from the World being so philosophical, I don't really know if I want to grab a nonfiction. So that leaves historical fiction, mystery thriller, or a miscellaneous book. So those are our 3 options, and I am thinking, oh, yeah, historical fiction, mystery thriller, or miscellaneous book. Sorry, I thought I left one out, but we're good. So I'm thinking, do we go mystery thriller or do we go historical fiction? I'm thinking I'm going to try out a historical fiction book this week. I think I'm going to dig into one. I'm not usually much of a historical fiction girly, but like, I would like to be more of a historical fiction girly, so I think we're going to go historical fiction. Let's pick one out. These purple ones are my options. So you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. Location change because my housemate started like weed whacking right outside the window I was talking by, so you guys don't want to hear that. But I came in here and a train was going by, so you didn't hear anything I said, but I unwrapped my historical fiction book and I got The Circus Train by Amita Parikh, and this is a historical fiction book. It looks like it was published in 2002, so let me read the synopsis. When all is lost, how do you find the courage to keep moving forward? 1938. Lena Papadopoulos has never quite found her place within the circus, even as the daughter of the extraordinary headlining illusionist, Theo. Brilliant and curious, Lena, who uses a wheelchair after a childhood bout with polio, yearns for the real-world magic of science and medicine, her mind stronger than the limitations placed on her by society. Then her unconventional life takes an exciting turn when she rescues Alexandre, an orphan with his own secrets and a mysterious past. As World War II escalates around them, their friendship blossoms into something deeper while Alexandre trains as illusionist apprentice. But when Theo and Alexandre are arrested and made to perform in a town for Jews set up by the Nazis, Leah is separated from everything she knows. Forced to make her own way, Leah must confront her doubts and dare to believe in the impossible, herself. So that sounds tragic. Oh my gosh, it sounds tragic. It's historical fiction, and it's set in wartime, so of course it's going to be tragic, but I think that's why in the past I've often shied away from historical fiction, because I'm a little bit worried about the tragedy of it and the emotions and the drama. It kind of intimidates me a little bit, but I think that maybe that's why like the universe granted me this one, because I'll be honest, this is not the book that I thought I'd be unwrapping. Not that I really had an idea of what I'd be unwrapping. I know I have a couple Kristen Hanna books in there, and like she's such a popular historical fiction novelist that I was like, maybe I'll get a Kristen Hanna book, and I didn't. So I was like, for a split second I was disappointed, because I was like, I have a couple, but I've never read any. But then once I read the synopsis, I was like, well, perhaps I was granted this one as a toe into historical fiction for a reason, because I love books about the circus. I love circus books. I just think they're so fun and interesting and like kind of like a whole adventure. So since this is set in a circus back in historical fiction in wartime, I think perhaps maybe that'll help me ease into the historical fiction world in a easier, gentler way. We'll see. Obviously, I don't know. I just opened this book. I haven't read a single page of it, but I am curious to see how it goes, and yeah, I'm curious to see what I think about it. It looks like it is, I love knowing how long a book is. So it is 376 pages, so less than 400 pages, so hopefully it won't take me too long. And yeah, I'm excited to dig into it this week and see what this book holds and really like dip my toe into the historical fiction world. The next day, and we have two topics to talk about today. First topic is if cats disappeared from this world. I finished it last night, so let's talk about it. So, if cats disappeared from the world. This was a short book. It was 168 pages. It is an international bestseller, as you can see. And this book was originally published in Japanese, and it has been translated into over 14 different languages. It has been translated into English, which is why I think the flowing and the words are minis. I think the flow of the words in the language is a little bit different, but that could also be very intentional. And honestly, I enjoyed it. I feel like it kind of added to like philosophicalness of that's not a word, but of the story. Like it added to it because it was kind of all about like what would you give up in this world to gain one more day, and how would it impact the world, and all of this kind of stuff. And I think it was really interesting, and there's definitely some life lessons in it, and there definitely was like a storyline within like the life lessons and everything, which I thought was fun. The storyline kind of like, it was pretty not obvious, but kind of like roommates. Everywhere I go I can hear them, so I'm sorry if you can hear them. I just want to talk about this book right now. I will say that it was really good, and I love the lessons that you learned throughout it, and the general storyline. As I was trying to say, you can kind of see where it's going. Now there's a train coming. Why is this my life? But you can see where it's going, but you still get the storyline and like the satisfaction of watching it kind of tie up and how it ends. I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was a really fun read. It was a really quick read. I read it, like I started it Monday, I read it Tuesday. So it was a really quick read. It was interesting, and I thought it was an interesting concept, and I really liked it. I ended up giving it, I want to say, I think I rated it 3.5 out of 5 stars because I thought it was decently good. Yeah, I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Thought it was decently good. I thought it was interesting. I would recommend it for someone who likes like contemporary fiction or something like that's a little bit different. I thought it was really fun, and yeah, I thought this was a great book. Okay, so the number 2 thing I want to talk about. So yesterday you guys watched me unwrap my historical fiction book, which was The Circus Train, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not really in the mood to read historical fiction. Like I said, I was going to challenge myself to read it, but I just have no desire to pick up that book and read it. Honestly, I think I'm kind of on the precipice of a little mini book slump, so I'm going to try to avoid that. And in order to try to avoid that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a mystery wrapped book from each of the categories that I have left. So all the categories that I haven't read from yet, I'm going to pick a mystery book from each, and I'm going to unwrap it. And then I'm going to pick the book that I'm most tempted to read, and I'm going to read that one. So I'm going to unwrap a bunch of mystery books here, and then we're going to pick out which one I want to read. And then if I have time, I'll read like another one. But for now, we're just going to unwrap a bunch of mystery books. Okay, we're going to pick some books and get to unwrapping. So these are the 5 categories of books that I have not read yet for the end of this challenge. So these are the 5 books that I'm going to unwrap. Let's see. We have Finish a Series, Tackle a Series, Miscellaneous Genre, Mystery Thriller, Nonfiction, and we have Finish a Series. So we'll open Finish a Series first to see what series I'm going to maybe be finishing. Now this Not be the end of the series. This is just like where I'm at in the series and however much I have left to finish the series. So this could be book 2, this could be book 3, I'm not sure, but it might be the end of the series, it might be however many are out, it might be however many I own. Just putting that out there. But this is a series that we might be finishing, so let's give her an open. What is it? Rebel Witch, Crimson Moth Book 2. Ooh, this might be good. This might be good to start off like my fall season. I've heard really good things about this, and I know I really liked book 1. So, Rebel Witch by Kristen Cicerelli. That is my finish a series. Finish a duology actually with this one, so I might be reading this one. But let's unwrap the next book to see what it is. So this one is orange. This one is a non-fiction book. It's little. Definitely a paperback. Many Lives, Many Masters, the timeless classic, the true story of a prominent psychiatrist, his young patient, and the past life therapy that changed both their lives, by Brian L. Weiss. So this is a book, it's a nonfiction book, and it's about an individual who remembers past lives through therapy. So that sounds really interesting to me. Sorry, my battery died, but that is my nonfiction option for which book I could read next. Kitty toys. Next up, we have a mystery thriller option. Let me make sure. Yes, a mystery thriller option. So, let's see what it could be. The Winter Sister. Ooh. Like, I don't really know much about this book, but considering it's called The Winter Sister, I feel like this is more of a winter read than a fall, late summer read. So, possibility, but probably not. Like I said, just doesn't feel right for right now. Just doesn't feel right. Next up, we have a miscellaneous book. So this is one that I wasn't sure what category to put it in, because either it was a genre that I didn't have very many, or I wasn't really sure what genre to classify it as. So it's just a miscellaneous book. It's beautiful. The Unthinkable Greta James by Jennifer E. Smith. That sounds good. Look at the back. I love the colors on this. This might be it. An indie musician reeling from tragedy and a public breakdown reconnects with her father on a week-long cruise in this pitch-perfect story about the ways we recover love in the strangest of places. Oh. That sounds depressing. I thought it was going to be all fun. So yeah, maybe this book. We'll see. This is not, honestly, out of all these books, the only one that got me kind of excited so far was this one. That's funny. Okay. The last part for this little challenge. This one is this one would be tackle the series. It's going to be starting a series and then reading as many of them that I own. So, this is a possible series that I might be starting. Let's give her a try. The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. I've heard this one's pretty cute. Alright, so the books I just unwrapped were Many Lives, Many Masters, The Winter Sister, The Unthinkable Greta James, Rebel Witch, The House in the Cerulean Sea, and we also have The Circus Train as an option. So these are the 5 options. Historical fiction, miscellaneous, no, this one's tackle a series, finish a series, miscellaneous, mystery thriller, nonfiction. Alright, so we're just going to go with the gut. And the gut is saying, give Rebel Witch a try. So we're going to give Rebel Witch a try. Let's talk about Rebel Witch. So Rebel Witch is The Crimson Moth, Book 2 by Kristen Cicerelli. So the first book in this series in America is called Heartless Hunter. The first book in the series, in the UK and other places, I'm not sure, just honestly everywhere but America as far as I know, is called The Crimson Moth. But in America, the first book is called Heartless Hunter. And then the second book everywhere, I believe, is called Rebel Witch. They're by Kristen Cicerelli. And it says, Love has never been so deadly. This is the book. And I just realized that I cannot read you the synopsis because if you have not read book 1, I do not want to read Rune book 1 for you, but it is about a witch and a witch hunter, so I'll read you the synopsis of book 1 so that you guys know what the general storyline is about. Enemies to lovers doesn't get more high stakes than a witch and a witch hunter falling in love. On the night Rune's life changed forever, blood ran in the streets. Now, in the aftermath of a devastating revolution, witches have been diminished from powerful rulers to outcasts, ruthlessly hunted due to their waning magic, and Ruth must hide what she is. Spending her days pretending to be nothing more than a vapid young socialite, Rune spends her nights as the Crimson Moth, a witch vigilante who rescues her kind from being purged. When a rescue goes wrong, she decides to throw the witch hunters off her scent and gain the intel she desperately needs by courting the handsome Gideon Sharp. He's a notorious and unforgiving witch hunter, loyal to the revolution, and too late, Rune realizes she might be falling for him. Gideon loathes the decadence and superficiality Rune represents. But when he learns the Crimson Moth has been using Rune's merchant ships to smuggle renegade witches out of the Republic, he enters himself into her social circles for pretending to court her. He soon realizes that beneath her beauty and shallow facade is someone fiercely intelligent and tender who feels like his perfect match. Except, what if she's the very villain he's been hunting? This one was really good. I really enjoyed it, so I'm excited to see how it ends. I believe this is the end of the duology. I don't believe there's any more after this. So I think this is perfect because I will actually finish up this series, which is exactly what this category is for. So let's try reading The Rebel Witch. Let's chat Rebel Witch. So I started Rebel Witch. I am a little bit more than halfway done. I'd say I'm perhaps 60-ish% of the way done. I am on page 272, chapter 46, and there are 455 pages. So I am a good chunk into this book, but I still have a good chunk left to go. And we're right in the middle of some really exciting stuff. But I will say, I love this book so far. I absolutely love this book. I think it's really good. I think it's a really fast-paced book. The chapters are really short, which I love a short chapter. You know I love a short chapter. It is 2 points of view. It is both Rune and Gideon's point of view, so we're going back and forth between 2 different points of view, which I always love that because you get to see 2 different sides of the story, and you get to see what each character is thinking and feeling, and I think that is so interesting and so much fun, and I love books that do that. So I am loving this book so far, and yeah, we're about 60% of the way through, and I think it is so good. I'm hoping that I'll be able to finish up in the next few days. That being said, I did not finish it up this weekend. I wanted to read it this weekend, and honestly, I just did not read as much this weekend as I thought I did. It was a holiday weekend, I had a bunch of stuff going on, and I really was kind of just vibing, and like I said, I did not pick up my book and read nearly as much as I thought I would. I read a good chunk of it, obviously, but I did not finish it like I wanted to, and as today is Tuesday, I will not be finishing it in this video, but I will be finishing it for next week's video when we're going to be wrapping up my summer reading challenge and kind of chatting about how it all went and recapping the whole thing. So, with that being said, I'm going to end off this week's vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching me attempt to read wrapped books from each category. I pulled a wrapped book from each category, so I feel like I still did my challenge, which was to unwrap a book from each category, try to get it read. I really wasn't feeling most of them, which I'm a mood reader, so that doesn't surprise me, but I was feeling this one, and I'm happy that I got a good chunk of the way done, and I'm excited to finish it up and do a full review of it in next week's vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching this week. I hope you guys have a fabulous week. Let me know what you are reading down below. Let me know if you did any kind of challenge this summer and how it went for you. I'm so excited to share with you guys next week the recap of my whole summer reading challenge and how it went and my thoughts on it. I'm so excited to share that. But yeah, let me know what you guys read this summer, what you're currently reading now, and your plans for what you want to read this fall. I'm so excited to get into cozy fall books, and I really can't wait. And I'm kind of excited to finish up this challenge just because I'm excited for those fall books. Okay, I hope you guys have a fabulous week this week. Live well, read some books, and go discover. Bye, my friends.